At the beginning of autumn, the tomatoes start ripening, ready to be harvested. We had an abundance of beetroot as well. All this harvesting makes one thirsty, so it's time for another beer. As the autumn days start to get shorter, it's time to tidy up the garden, and Elizabeth does some finishing off weedings while I rotivate. Dead slow though. I think you should perhaps speed up a bit. That's better. A final grass cut and pick up of leaves in the orchard was definitely in order, although it's a slow job. Go on, get a bit faster. Hello. Faster still. And also the front grass needs done. The worst about that is going through the willow. Bloomin' awkward. Faster, faster. The onset of the colder weather in autumn sometimes drives the insects into the house, and you can see the size of this grasshopper that managed to find its way in. Elizabeth also found this newt, which was just in the process of laying eggs underneath the stone. We'll keep an eye on that one for next year. In October we had another visit to Dinan. This time we had a look at the port of Dinan from the battlements high above. A walk through Dinan allowed us to marvel at the wonderful timber-beamed houses. A walk round the outside walls of Dinan gives us some idea of the height and the strength of this medieval fortress. The next day we took a trip along the coast to Mont Saint-Michel, which is not very far from Dinan, perhaps half an hour, 40 minutes. And this is a place well worth visiting. If you ever get the chance, go there. It is really quite awe-inspiring. Here is a view across the broad sandy bay at Mont Saint-Michel. The tide comes in so quick here it can overtake a galloping horse. The quiet serenity and beauty of the cloisters literally take your breath away when you come upon them after leaving the main church. We drove round the bay of Mont Saint-Michel to a small village headland at Cancale. On a clear day you can see Mont Saint-Michel across the bay about 10 or 15 miles away. A bracing walk in the freshening breeze allowed us to have a look at some of the spectacular scenery around here, including the cliffs, and to get some really good pictures. Back to old Clays and Parich as we settled down to reality again. We got a load of wood delivered in October, enough to do us for the whole winter, and that's quite a lot of wood. It's counted in cords, and we got 2 cords, and a cord is a pile of wood 8 metres long by 1 metre high by 1 metre wide. It took us 2 days to cut it all, and you can see the process involved here of the cutting, towing away and then stacking. Quite a lengthy and physically exhausting job, especially for people coming up in old age pension. We're really lucky to have this outhouse for stacking the wood away in. It's been either a stable or a byre or something, because it had a manger in it. But we're able to knock a wall down, and we can now get access to it from the house. So it's great for the winter for coming to get logs. After all the hard work cutting wood, we settled down for a well-deserved evening aperitif. The weather was still lovely and warm, so we were able to sit outside.
Cheers. Oh.
We continued to sit and watch the sun setting, and even after the sun had set, we were able to light candles and enjoy the pleasant, mild October evening. Pangs of hunger drove us inside, so in we came to have our evening meal and enjoy the peace and tranquility of the candlelit room. In the autumn, Matt and Kirsten came to visit. No, that's not Matt. That's Matt down there looking up at monkeys roaring over his head. This is the Valley des Songes, which is the Valley of the Monkeys, which is about 20-minute drive away from the house. It's really good because an awful lot of the monkeys are actually running around free, and you can get very, very close to them. Only the larger monkeys are contained behind not bars but canals, which means that it's safe, but you don't have a feeling of them being caged up. This fella was enjoying the sun. We came across this monkey lying on the ground. It looked like he was dead, but no, he was just sunbathing. Another one sunbathing, obviously a monkey pastime. Here we see a large male silverback gorilla, enjoying something to eat, sitting in the sun. These guys are really very imposing. They are big. Here's Mum with baby on back, heading towards the house. They were starting to feel the cold, so they headed indoors. This was great because it gave us an opportunity to get really close up to them through a plate glass window. It was actually quite awe-inspiring to be standing 4 feet away from a massive gorilla. We were all quite overawed by it. It was warm enough to have a picnic lunch outside at the picnic area. Elizabeth, as usual, big softy, feeding half her lunch to the peacocks. I have to say I wasn't really convinced by Matt's impression of a gorilla. On the other hand, I admired Elizabeth for finding a good use for the gorilla statue. Something to lean on. A troop of baboons enjoy something to eat in the autumn sunshine. I was really impressed with these guys having a fight and hanging on by their tails. Really impressive.
Mike.
Ah, Matt's found a friend at last. And so did Elizabeth. In fact, this one wanted to go home with her.
This one, is this the pregnant one we saw before? Now going to the blue one. What do you like? I've got a pregnant one. They're all the same.
A white-faced macaque. And these strange creatures are Patagonian hares. Never seen anything like it in life. On our way home we stopped off at the village of Shawnee and had a look at this marvellous wall. It's actually a blank wall and the whole house and the scene has all been painted on. From a distance it looks so real you can actually imagine that it is part of the village. Shawnee is about 5 minutes down the road from us and there's a really nice bread shop there, and that's where we go to get our bread when we want a real good treat. On Matt and Kirsten's final evening we had cocktails. Here we're sampling, I think it's a silk stocking by the looks of it. Tastes yummy though.
After the cream on that point of inflation.
No autumn is complete without Halloween, and Joy and Clive turned up for an evening meal dressed like this.